Hello, friend. Today, as I promised you previously, that I'm gonna do a demonstration to complete videos about Azure Virtual Desktop and also how it's gonna be interact with the FS Logics and MSIX app attach. Um, this is going to be a lengthy video, but I'll have to do it on sections. Um, so it's going to be more comprehensible for you to grasp rather being one long video here. So originally Azure Virtual Desktop was Windows Virtual Desktop, and Microsoft decided to change the name to AVD, Azure Virtual Desktop. So part of the terminologies for the Azure Virtual Desktop, it's Azure Virtual Desktop Services. It's uh, platform as a service, remote desktop solutions built in Azure. And the other one is would be the Windows 10 multi-users, Windows 10 OS that allows multiple users sessions. It's only available in Azure. And the third service is the FS Logics. The portability here is very important from a user logging into certain VMs when they save something on that. The profile will be migrated with them, and everything says have on that desktop will be going with them when they log into a different laptop, desktop, or screen is going to be everything there. That's the portability of FS Logic's. It says user profile solutions provide consistent user experience between multiple desktop. That's the best I can phrase it to you. And last but not least, the last services is the MSIX app attached is the containerized version of the application attached to a client OS. Um, so for app attach, you're probably used to installing applications, and you likely have a few that you need to be installed on a fresh computer before it's ready for the end user. App attach changes. App attach, MSS app attach change this process by packaging and running application in the way that they are attached to the OS, but not installed on the OS. Uh, this this decrease the time to deploy new server and makes the application portable. Uh, so this is the best way I can phrase the MSIX app attach for you, friends. So I'm gonna explain in brief actually, and like to go to. I'm always a practical person, going to the demonstrations rather talking. So generally speaking, the Azure Virtual Desktop resource is gonna be objects are organized by resource groups in Azure. Our resource groups is security boundaries and cost can be tracked by resource group. The Microsoft recommendation is to keep objects and similar life cycles in the resource group. For example, a web server and an Azure SQL Server instance that supports websites or in our case the servers and applications that's going to be in the same locations. Groups that makes an Azure Virtual Desktop deployment. Um, these have to be the same life cycle and can be kept in the same resource group. When we deploy host pool, including the session host and application group, we also have the option to create a workspace and to add the application group to it. And remember, workspace is what the user, your workspace is the entire actually that what the user is going to be interacting with. If we create a second host pool, we can create a new workspace for that host pool application group. But users with the access to application from both host pools would see two workspace in their Azure virtual desktop feeds, and that's not recommended and not is going to be not practical. And so when we process this, you have to do a complete separate. First, create a workspace. Uh, what what if we need to remove the? I mean, in this case, the reason we're doing this, what if we remove the host pool that would leave the workspace and the host pool resource group? An example, and coming up, we are going to create a workspace and it's in its own resource group before deploying a host pool. So again, in wording, I can talk to you as much as I have. I wrote down the infrastructure process, to be honest to you, and as much as I can explain it, and not going to make as much as sense, rather practical, hands-on work on this. So next things we're gonna do by creating a workspace here. So from Azure Virtual Desktop, you click on Home, and you're gonna see it here, Azure Virtual Desktops, and then you're gonna go and click on Workspace, and then either you create it here or you click on the plus sign to create a new workspace. And for me, I would like to create a new resource group for this, as I explained it to you previously. It will be, for example, lab 1, lab 1 WS space resource group. So it's going to be lab 1 um, space resource group, and then we're going to click OK for that. And we're going to give a workspace name will be as lab 1 WS for workspace. And also we can, why not give a friendly name for here would be lab 1. And for the descriptions, you can put put workspace um, or lab 1. You can use that also. And for location, this is the metadata for the Azure Virtual Desktop locations, which I have it on East US. And next we're going to go to, as you can see here, to application group. We'll leave the application group as is for now, not to be registered. And then to advanced, we're going to leave that unchecked also. There's some new features. Microsoft adds new features like every minutes actually in here. So we'll leave that. And then for takes is an optional, so you can have the takes in there or not. And then after that you go to review and create this case, and it's going to go to a validation process, as you can see here. And this did pass the validation, and then we're going to go ahead and create the workspace. And it's going to show initializing deployments, as you can see here. And it's going to give you the process at the beginning. And as you can see, your deployment is completed. And we can go ahead to resource if we'd like. And then this is Lab 1 workspace is ready in here, as you can see. And go here, go to home, Azure Virtual Desktop, and get ready for the next step. So right now it's a good time to verify your server or your domain controller that you have, and I have here, as you can see, is up and running, not to be scheduled to be shut down. And again, I did create this process previously, and I have this process created before creating a server and deploying a server using a script. If you look up my videos, and I did not have time a few months back to finish the process of creating Azure Virtual Desktop, but it's pretty much is similar. I did create the entire infrastructure using the PowerShell commands and declaring variables and such, and connecting the Azure Active Directory domain to the my infrastructure, and as you can see, which I have here under Entra ID, all the users, and was was transferred from the undomain in here, all the users, and transfers from undomain to the Azure Active Directory in here. And this is one of the requirements I'm telling you of the Azure Virtual Desktop process. So this domain controller needs to be on when we are going to create the host pool and the rest of the process, please. So, folks, before we go through the creating a host pool, done this several times, and previously when I used to have this Microsoft free accounts, they used to give creation of a lot of VMs without any requirement of quota, we call it. In current days, Microsoft, they are being very strict on providing certain, this is account for only testing as a free account, and then they put a lot of restrictions, and then they don't give a lot of VMs. So in the process, the way I do it, I know how to do it 100%, and I know my way of work through this infrastructure, but again, is the Microsoft limitations here that not providing, and it may error out during the middle of the process that there is not enough quota, or they will not provide me more to create more VMs, because it will require at least 2 VMs to do the infrastructure here. But let's hope let's hope. I do have a server created, and I'm gonna need a couple more VMs. Hopefully they will allow me that, and then we can show you, then demonstrate to you the process, how does that work. So here at the Azure Virtual Desktop, I'm gonna go ahead and create a host pool. So as rules of thumbs, always for any resources, we have to go with the resource group. Creating a resource, as I explained to you, is a better things to do in here. And so I'm creating a new resource group. I'll call it Lab 1 host pool RG. Or There you go. Lab 1 host pool RG, and then go ahead and click OK, and it did go successfully. And then for name is going to be similar in here, lab 1 HP, and for location. For location, that's where the Azure Virtual Desktop metadata is going to be, as you can see, explained to you, and then I'll leave it the same as East US for now. And as you know, Azure Virtual Desktop, it's a global service, but the data has to be stored in a region. And for preferred app group, for now, as you know, it's a desktop, and I will demonstrate it to you later on the remote app we're gonna perform. And for host pool, if you select as it says here, shared users will still be able to access their personalized and user data using, as you mentioned too, the FS Logics app. And here for host pool tabs, I will go ahead and use the pooled. And so there's two types of load balancing algorithms here, breadth first and depth first. We're gonna select the breadth first. That's mean if we have several VMs lined up, when you choose a breadth first, it's gonna go to the first VM, and then the next user is gonna come in. It's gonna go to the next VM, and the next user to go to the third VM and such. Uh, on the depth first, it's going to be a different load balancing algorithm. That's mean if you have four VMs again, the first user is come in and it's going to go to the first VM, and the second user same VM. He's going to go and populate same VM, and the other users is going to go the same VM. This is on the depth first, and it's set for until that VM is filled, and then whoever come next is going to go to the second VM and such. So it's all depend how is your infrastructure is going to be set up, and how would you like that. And for these demonstrations, again, uh, I'm doing it. This is for a lab testing environment. It's not a live production environment. Definitely, if you have a lot of users, breadth first, I recommend it, because if you have several VMs, although it's not a good idea for cost cutting, but it's going to be more robust for your users, especially if they are engineers, that they have utilize everyone on its own without populating one VM, that versus when we are talking about um, depth first, rather breadth first here. So I will explain it in details when we go to the process of building this infrastructure, but for now, this is what I have explained. And after that, we'll leave the maximum session limits blank. This is the maximum number of users have a concurrent session on the session host. So I don't have that in mind right now. Again, in the real-time productions, you'll add it in there. It's based on your infrastructure, how is the developers will feed you the informations, and what is that going to be, and which type of users you have, and such in here. And next, we're gonna select virtual machines. So for virtual machines, you're gonna select yes. This is what it is gonna create. We call it a session host, friends. Right here, this is the area right here. So this is where the users, as I mentioned, will connect. Will will leave the name prefix. We're gonna add lab1 sh, here. Um, uh, when the server are deployed, they get a name that starts with a prefix and then a dash and number. Appended to the end prefix. The prefix is limited to 11 characters and in length. So the process is going to be, but it's like going to be total of 11 characters in here. But we did add the name and prefix for her for this for now, as you can see. And of course, we need a Azure virtual machine. That's where we are selected here. And then the virtual machine locations has to be same, matching the VNet's location where the virtual machine will be connecting or communicating with. And in my case, as you can see, it's East US as I have it previously. For availability options, we can create the availability sets in here and create a new one, and we can call it lab 1 1, call it here 1 yes for availability set, and then we can modify the full domain and then the updated domains in here the way we prefer. And I will explain you about the two options here. And as you can see here, a virtual machine and the same fault domain share the common power source and physical network switch. Okay. And for the updated domain, virtual machine and the same update domain will be restarted together during the planned maintenance. Azure never restart more than one updated domain at the time, as you can see here. That's explanations for this is for backup and fault tolerance in here. I'm gonna go ahead after creating the availability set. We're gonna click OK here, and gonna my preferable security tab. I'll leave it at standard. And for image gallery, and we're gonna select, as I mentioned, the multi users Windows 10 this. So we're gonna select the Windows 10 Enterprise multi-session version 21H2 from the image gallery. And the next we're gonna go ahead with the virtual machine size. So we're gonna go ahead and change size, and then we're gonna look something suitable for this lab. And here the something with the price wise, the the V2 Pro V2 S, it will be more than sufficient, I believe. And size, and sometimes that's the issues that we may not have this option available anymore, and we may not be able to and sometimes Microsoft will not give us this option. As I mentioned to you, we end up um, selecting something else, and the deployment will fail in this case. Um, let's select this. It says here free service eligible. Let me see here, VMs free for the 750 hours. It may can be slow in here, but you know, that's, I would rather have this selected. And again, and because of the requirement from Microsoft with the new quota, uh, sometimes it will say that's not available, and it will kill the entire process of the entire things that we are doing. And again, everything has been done accordingly right now, and I've done this before. And then again, with the free account, Microsoft, they don't provide a lot of VMs for testing, unfortunately, but we're gonna find out at the end, the hard way or the other ways in here. And for the number for this lab, we can set it for 2. Again, when we are working in a real production environment, definitely we will select something more uh, more robust VMs, that it depends on how the process is, and what is the process. And that's, for now, that's what we did select here, and that's what is gonna work for this lab. And again, it's always about if Microsoft, they're gonna give us the option to proceed, or is gonna error out during the entire host pool creation, and that's very. And I will go ahead and post that and show you, and to demonstrate to you the process works, but there is a limitation by Microsoft in this case. And we're gonna leave the boot diagnostic as is. No change on that. And next, we're gonna go ahead with network and security. Definitely, as I mentioned to you, we're gonna select the VNets that we created previously, that have a connectivity to Azure Microsoft Entra ID, or the domain services in here as is shown. Um, so I selected VNets 01, and for the public inbound, you're going to keep it to no ports to allow for now. And for domain to join, we're going to keep it to Active Directory. You have the options for Microsoft. I do have both actually users, and currently I have the Active Directory, and I have the users that listed on my server. See here, and I will copy that name in here. And that .com. I'm gonna enter my password in a minute, and I added the password accordingly. And next, we need the virtual machine administrator account. This is different from the domain join account. That account is used to join the VMs to Active Directory domain service, and this account is used to log into the computer as a local administrator. So I have created one name in here, local, and I'm gonna input my passwords here. And then I'm gonna go ahead retype the passwords also. Okay, next is the custom configurations script URL. I don't have that. We're gonna move to next to the workspace and select yes to add a workspace, and we're gonna select the lab one workspace that we have created in here. And you can see that you have the options to create a new workspace, but we did create once before. Next, we're gonna go to advanced. I don't have anything to add here for tags. If you have anything in tags, you can add it to in the real production world. You need that because this is gonna give you more control and more robust way to pinpoint your products. And then next we're going to go to review and create, and as again it's past the validation, and the next stage it will be we're going to go ahead and create. And the process is everything as is, the way it should be. It will go smoothly again without if there's any restriction from Microsoft or anything regarding Coda, as I mentioned to you previously. And folks, right away, as I mentioned to you during the process of this procedure of host pool, it says something during the creation, as you can see uh, in here. We're gonna view the deployments, and you can see what does it say. As I mentioned to you, is a bad request. Everything went fine, everything the way it is, and then we're gonna go and look at the script, and it's gonna tell you as I mentioned to you, quota exceeded. So that's Microsoft right now. They have a limitation on the number of VMs you can demonstrate and do testing unless you have a paid account that will allow you to create as much as VMs you prefer. In my case, it's unfortunate. Every single steps that I performed is exactly that I have written, that I know, and I demonstrated to you the procedure, and this is the right procedure. But again, because of the limitation, and this is a free account, unfortunately from Microsoft, they don't give as much as for us to demonstrate to you. And usually I've seen it before when I have a free VMs creation and everything. You will see this. It will be taking a longer time, and then will be successful, and then I will demonstrate the next process for you accordingly. I don't think it's gonna be doable. I will try to see if I can have some cut corners here and there that it may help creating the process, and but I'm definite that this deployment is going to fail again because Microsoft, they don't allow, maybe you can have one or two VMs at max. Nothing. And the infrastructure of this procedure, the Azure Virtual Desktop, you must have at least two VMs beside your domain and up and running. As you can see, my domain is up and running and everything as it should be, but it's unfortunate it's very unfortunate that it's not allowing this. Folks, I have to cut this video short, but I will post it. But I will put there failed because of the Microsoft limitations in there in my channel, and hopefully one day I will have it in full, and I will demonstrate to you the beauty of Azure Virtual Desktop and the FS Logics and the MSIX Appetite. Thank you and have a great day. I always appreciate your likes and subscribe. If you have any question, comment, please add it to the comment sections. I will reply to you and answer your questions promptly. Thank you and have a great day.